If Aquari is here with Joy News Interactive.
Yes, I'm here with Joy News Interactive with a surprise for you later on in the show. Yeah, well, I promised
you're not going to do this.
We are going to do it. We are going to do it. Okay, so it's been a cool Friday. Let's wrap up the week with a chill interactive segment, shall we? But we're still showing solidarity with our Muslim brothers and sisters. We have all your comments on Saudi Prince Khalid Al Faisal's comment saying that the stampede in Mecca was the fault of the African pilgrims, and then we will touch on the economic situation of the country, which is getting ever more confusing, and then of course our trending picture for the day, something Israeli will love. Joy News Interactive is brought to you by Airtel. Now you can enjoy more talk, longer text and internet browsing if you dial *202# now. My name is Ifwa Akwa Harrison and I will be right back.
Joy News Interactive is brought to you.
Thank you for staying. Please join us with your comments via social media. You can find us on facebook.com/Joy News on TV. It's the same name if you're sending us a message via Twitter, Joy News on TV. You can also hashtag Joy News Prime. Hashtag Joy News Prime. I was going to say hashtag GN Interactive GH. You can do that too, but hashtag Joy News Prime, and then you can send an email to joynewsim@multitvworld.com or send your messages to our WhatsApp number 05608-100,000. Please add your name and location when sending us a message to the number 05608000000. Now, at least 717 pilgrims have been killed and 863 injured. We all believe in one God or the other, and we perform one religious ritual or the other. So it is really disheartening and faith-shaking when a tragedy occurs during one of such programs. At last count, it was about 717 people that had died in the stampede at the annual Hajj pilgrimage. Now, about 4,000 people from the rescue services are participating in the operation to help the injured, and about 220 ambulances are at the scene. Now, Joy News spoke to the chairman of the Hajj board, Alhaji Ibrahim Tanko Abdul Rauf, who said there was fear and panic among Ghanaian Muslims, both at home and in Mecca. But let's take some of your comments coming through on Facebook on this particular tragedy, and in particular a Saudi prince that saying or apportioning blame to some of the African pilgrims. And these are some of your comments, and this one is from Kwenu Joshua, who says the prince should come clear. And this one is from Ayiwonu Gideon. He says, when the prince is aware that it was his convoy that causes people to rush, he's still blaming blacks. In any case, why can't he allow the investigations to be over before he jumps to the media? He's aware how powerful he is and how such comments can do to the credibility of the investigations. Why can't you respect the black race for once? Because if you believe in Islam and it's against the very belief you cherish, then you are doing nothing. So that's from Ayiwonu there. And this one is from Suez El Supremacy. He says he must be joking. This is true racism. Abinastika says it is always blacks. Those white guys rather have the black minds. It is good then it is good then if it's white. If it's bad, then blacks caused it. And Abina is shaking her head. And this one is from Emmanuel Oladayo. We all know that there is just only one God, and that is the God we serve. We know that there's only one God, and that is the God we serve. Okay, and he goes on there and talks about Jesus Christ. Okay, and this one is from Rosetta Cole, and she says, is he blaming black Africans because of their race? Let him get lost. Sorry for the sad incident. And this one is from Justice, and he says it won't prevent blacks from Islam. And Hamadi Ahmed does not think it is true. They blame the Iranian pilgrims, which is unfair too. But the report was there on some of the international networks. And this one is from Henry Frifa Bwedu, who says his statement is rather unfortunate and unguarded. May Allah forgive him. So those are some of the comments coming through on Facebook there on this particular issue. Is there anything on WhatsApp so far?
Yes, I have a couple of them coming through on WhatsApp. In fact, I have quite a number of them coming on WhatsApp. Senam from Akachi says, I think the pilgrimage should be scheduled so that only 2 or 3 countries participate at a time. Well, I'm not sure how that's going to be possible. Right? Not too many people are going to be happy with that. And then I have Anthony Shaibu inside Axim. He says, it's a pity that the Stampede issue has happened in Saudi Arabia. The government must be blamed for it. That's what you think. And then I have Sami from a chance. It says the Queen making such comments is embarrassing. You mean the Prince making such comments is embarrassing. And then I have Abbas Taki Gushegu from Gushegu says, may their souls rest in perfect peace. And then I have Felix from Pando. He says, this is sad. Is it an annual sacrifice? It's an annual pilgrimage, you mean? And, so this is some of the comments that
maybe he's
you've
trying
sent
to
through.
Play on words there.
Yeah. And then I have this other one says a new Mecca can be created, and that's Diego. Diego, you're not saying exactly where you're sending your message from, but we've gotten it all right. And we also have this other one from Alexander Bafo. It says, why are Africans always taken for granted in everything bad which goes on in this world? God save Mother Africa, but our leaders must also rise and defend the bad name of Africa. Thank you very much, Alex, for sending us that message.
All right, let's take this blog now. Michaela stepped out to speak with some relatives of Ghanaian pilgrims here in Accra.
Tom, one is not easy. When you know that when you are preparing for the person to come back home, because when they are coming, we usually dress their rooms, paint it, make it fine for them so that it will come perfect. So after doing all this, and the last thing you could hear that your relative is not coming, you know, it's very, very painful.
Bad, so bad, it's so bad, bad. Everything is about God. So we believe in God, everything come is God.
I have the information yesterday, absolutely. Even affected one of my friends.
So is he dead?
Yeah, he's dead. He's from Kano State in Nigeria.
How do you feel about it?
It's very sad, but usually, you know, it's not easy. For where people of almost about 4 to 5 million will gather at once and to move on one mission at once. So if there is any little bit congestion, then such will happen because the congestion is too much.
It's unfortunate. What do you do? But you see, the Muslim thinks everything that happens is by God. So we wouldn't take it to be somebody's deed, but it's the doing of the Almighty.
We feel very bad. So we are praying to the Almighty Allah to bring all of them home safely. And we are praying to Allah.
So those are some relatives of some of the pilgrims who have gone to Mecca, sending some messages there. Now, every Muslim is required to visit Mecca during the Hajj at least once in a lifetime, even though we all hope relatives return after the rituals. But some of them don't and they die there. But some Muslims understand this occurrence in a sort of a different way. Here's what they said.
If you die there, it's good. Went there to pray to the Almighty Allah, and God has taken your life there. So we are going heaven straight.
Though it's a blessing, but there are strings attached to it. We only agree that dying in Mecca is a blessing. But you who died in Mecca, there could be some strings attached to it, and it's only God who knows the strings and who can differentiate the strings as to you, the human being, and as to the death. So it's not automatic when you die in Mecca, then you are blessed, you are going to go to heaven.
It's jihad, yeah. It's like you are doing something because of God. So if you die, you go heaven.
It's a very sad something for one to go where you go to worship your Almighty God, to perform your pilgrimage, then at the end of the day, you are not coming back to your family. It doesn't mean anything. It's not something that one will be happy with it.
What we believe as a Muslim is, when you go to Mecca, it's a holy land. And this is the spiritual place for everybody. You see now. So when you go there and something like this happens, we have got that belief that you go to heaven. Do you understand me? That the gate of heaven is open to anybody there who dies.
So some mixed reactions from the Muslim community there. Okay, so Joy Business finally got a reply from the IMF. And Israel, remember when you said that we would be following up with them after the country found itself in a list of countries
said to be HIPC?
Yes, and can go for HIPC assistance. Well, me, I'm confused because apparently that's not the situation. And this is the story. It says Ghana is not eligible for HIPC, but it's a high risk of debt distress country, and that's according to the IMF. Okay, so Joy Business actually contacted the IMF, and in a response to an email that was sent seeking interpretation on Ghana's position as one of the countries that have qualified for HIPC, the IMF clarified that Ghana has already received debt relief under HIPC, and it is at post-completion joint. This means the country has now completed the initiative, therefore Ghana cannot classify as eligible again. The fund indicated that Ghana has been put on the high debt distress radar based on a debt sustainability carried out by the staff of the IMF and the World Bank Ghana. So that is it. We are not HIPC and we can't go for HIPC, but we still have a high debt risk, and we are not a good country to sort of borrow money
to lend to.
Yeah. That's it. That's pretty much it.
So it's a good situation to be in. I mean, the fact that they classify you as a high risk of debt distress country, essentially they're saying that if anybody lends money to you, there's a high risk that you're going to default on your loans. So. Well,
we have some messages on this story as well. So this is what people are saying, and this one is from Frank Mandela Baumia. He says this is the PhD version of HIPC. So that's
exactly suggesting that we've graduated.
We've graduated to have a doctorate degree in HIPC. So it doesn't mean anything if we're not classified HIPC. It's just PhD. And then Ibrahim Biligo says just that Ghana is not eligible. Ghanaians must work to overcome. And then Musa is wondering what Ghana will be next week, because I guess he's also as confused. Ghana is HIPC, Ghana qualifies for HIPC funds, and now Ghana is high risk of debt distress country, all in about 2 weeks. Yeah, well, that's what the IMF is saying now. And this one's from Kofi Boateng. With all this big grammar, I think HIPC is even better. High risk of debt distress country. But they have sold Ghana. And he continues to laugh. And then this one is from Michael Patel, who says, you guys love to talk, but these talks do not improve the situation. For example, the problem of energy is so important for the economic development of pumping the financial assistance. The world contributes nothing because corruption is your big problem. And then he's talking about corruption in Ghana. And let me take Lottie Jones, and he says some analysts have said the money will not be enough to fix the struggling economy. The president, however, believes Ghana's economic transformation is largely dependent on Ghanaians and not international partners such as the IMF. Okay, so those are some of your Facebook comments. We'll be back with some WhatsApp comments as well right after this, and of course we'll also be switching things up after the break. Thanks for staying. You're still watching Joy News Interactive on Joy News Prime, and it's time for the picture of the day. You know, in fact, Israel, I can't wait to see this one. this one is especially for him. But let's take a few of your WhatsApp comments first before I put out the picture of the day.
All right, so I have this one coming from Mahmoud from Tumu. It says Ghana is wrongly managed. That is why we are poor. And then I'll go to this other one. It says maybe one day all Ghanaians will definitely be sold. Is it that our leaders are not capable of managing our own affairs? It seems so. Ghana under the protection of HIPIC. Alex Bafo sent through that one. This other one, without any name, just says, what is happening to this nation? And it goes, And let's move on. This other one also talks about, okay, it's only the Almighty God who will help us. Ghana has moved far ahead of HIPIC. That's Ibrahim Dinga. You're sending this one from Bando. And Aziz Donlawa says, we all need to pray for the nation to survive. And yes, indeed, we will continue to pray for the nation to survive.
Okay, so I have comments on this picture of the day. Let me read them before I show Izzy the picture. Now, Izzy, yesterday you said something, maybe you can remember, and the caption on the picture is, what's the caption? Okay, fashion or wardrobe malfunction. Okay, so these are the comments. This one is from Carol Redu, who is asking what kind of fashion this is. Kutina Cyril says it is not a wardrobe malfunction, neither is it fashion. I think it's malculture. Oh, that's a new word, malculture. And this one from Nana Osei Kojo says breasting or fashion, showing your breast to the public to say fashion. This one is for you, Israel. Yesterday you said what everybody loves. Loves.
Oh yeah, everybody loves Lolo, but this has been going around. Okay. We are not trying to be malicious, but this has been going around on Facebook and on Twitter and on WhatsApp. People have been sharing this. I think it's a wardrobe malfunction. You know, probably. I think this is like the national breastfeeding program or something. Oh my God! You just did not say that. No, this is definitely a wardrobe malfunction. You know, you need to support. This is the latest. This is the latest national breastfeeding program. Okay, so that's it for the interactive segment on Joy News Prime, and enjoy your weekend. My name is Ifwa Akwa Harrison. The show is brought to you by Airtel. Enjoy more talk, longer text, and all the internet browsing with Airtel Too Much Packs.